Have you ever felt like your own business technology was basically holding you hostage? Well, we're about to dive into an amazing story about escaping that exact trap. It's about treating total tech chaos for six-figure freedom on the open road. This is a masterclass in making big pivots, tough calls, and, finally building a life you actually want to live. Now, this story isn't for just anybody. It's for a very specific kind of person. The entrepreneur we're talking about, Jenny Mustafa Julak, she calls them people with impatient ambition. So if you're someone who's always trying to get farther, faster, and you feel like you should have gotten there yesterday, yeah, you're going to want to hear this.
So how does a journey like this even begin? You might think it started with some grand 10-year plan all mapped out. But nope, like a lot of the best stories, this one started completely by accident.
It all kicked off with something most of us have nightmares about: getting laid off. Jenny was 30, she'd just lost her government consulting job, and she found herself sitting in interviews for other jobs that just felt wrong. But what seemed like a total crisis was actually the moment everything changed. And this, right here, this captures her mindset perfectly. I think we can all relate to this feeling, right? She didn't have the perfect plan for what was next, but she knew with 100% certainty what she didn't want. And sometimes that's all the fuel you need. That feeling pushed her to dust off an old passion and start her own coaching business. Okay, so starting the business, that's one thing. But building the technology to actually support it? That turned into a nightmare that lasted for years. Welcome to what she calls the WordPress tech trap. You have to remember, back in 2006, the online business world was kind of like the Wild West. Jenny says she was holding her whole operation together with, and I quote, Scotch tape and dental floss and prayer. It was one of those makeshift systems that, it works just fine until suddenly it really, really doesn't. And this chaos, it wasn't a one-time thing. Oh no. It just got worse over time. It started with that DIY duct tape approach, but pretty soon she was deep in what she called plug-in hell with WordPress, where one little update could bring down your entire website. So by 2016, she jumped ship to another platform, only to find out it was clunky, super expensive, and just as frustrating. It felt like a constant losing battle with her own tools. And if you need one image to really understand her frustration, this is it. Things got so bad that her own graphic designer literally locked her out of her own website. Can you imagine that? Not even having control over your most important business asset? That was rock bottom. Something had to give. And that change finally came in 2023. She and her wife and business partner, Meredith, decided, that's it, we need a total reset. So they pulled out a blank sheet of paper and just started over from square one. Now here's the brilliant part. They didn't start by asking, how do we fix the business? They asked a much more powerful question. How do we want to be working? And that one question changed everything. The focus wasn't on running a business anymore. It was on designing a life. And the answer they came up with? It was just beautifully simple. They wanted to travel full-time in an RV. Their whole vision became creating in our bare feet from wherever we are. And from that moment on, their business model and their technology had to serve that vision, not the other way around. So how'd they do it? They used what they called the blank sheet method. Step one was burn. They got rid of the time-sucking membership that was eating up 25 hours a week. Just gone. Step two was keep. They kept the single most valuable piece of that old membership, the power hour. And step three was create. By clearing out all that clutter, they created actual white space in their calendars to dream up and build new, exciting things. So with this new, super streamlined vision, they needed a totally new kind of tool to power it all. The hunt was on for a platform that wasn't just going to work, but one that was truly limitless. And this time their checklist was basically a list of everything that had frustrated them for years. They needed unlimited courses, unlimited emails, tags, pages. They never wanted to be punished for growing again. But after all the complexity and the crazy costs, two things were at the very top of the list. It had to be simple and it had to be affordable, period. And the difference they found was just night and day. Their old platform was restrictive, it was expensive, it was clunky. But the new one they found, Système gave them unlimited everything for half the price with a clean, simple setup that finally put them back in the driver's seat. But it wasn't just about the features. What really clicked for them was the company's whole philosophy. They could see that Système IO was always improving, always adding practical features that real users actually needed. This whole idea of building the plane while flying it, that was exactly how they ran their own business. It just felt like a perfect match. So, the business model is redesigned, the right tech is in place. What's the result? Okay, this is where the story gets really, really good. This is what freedom in an RV looks like. First things first, they completely threw out the idea of work-life balance. For them, it's all about work-life harmony. So what does that mean? It's when your business stops feeling like a job and starts feeling like a form of self-expression that also happens to pay for your life. The line between work and play just starts to disappear in the best possible way. And the payoff for all of that hard work and all those tough decisions? They actually did it. I mean, they really did it. For 2 years, they traveled all across North America in their RV, and the whole thing was paid for by the new, streamlined, efficient business they had built. The dream became their day-to-day reality. But when you boil it all down, what does that freedom really mean? For Jenny, it's not about the numbers in a bank account. It's way more personal. She says it means that she and Meredith can stay inseparable. They can share their life and their work without having to make any compromises. So if you're out there listening and you have that same impatient ambition, what's the #1 lesson to take from all this? It's Jenny's biggest piece of advice. There's no such thing as ready. Waiting for that perfect moment to start, that's just a fancy word for procrastination. The only way to begin is to just begin. And really, that's what this all comes down to. If we accept that perfection is a myth and ready is never going to happen, then the only thing left is action. So take a look at your own journey, your own ambitions. What's the one thing, not 10 things, just one, that you can start building today?